Y'all, it's so hot today, y'all. We back with another one. We got some burgers today, y'all. Mm. Mm. This is like this is like the patty from Five Guys. This is like a patty melt. Mm. But it's the cheeseburger patty from, it's the cheese grill from Five Guys with a burger in it. I got a triple and I got some fries. Y'all, it's so hot today. Mm-mm. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm gonna be drinking this a lot because I'm so thirsty today. But anyways, y'all, let's get right into the story where we left off. This is the final, y'all. This is the final. Mm. So, mm, hold on, y'all, because it is hot today. But let's get into it, y'all. This is the final. This is chapter 3, the last chapter. So once they was all at the table, they was having brunch, and once Nola said Mike would not be our downfall, after she said that, everybody agreed, and they was just apologizing. Everybody started explaining their side of the story. So Sage was like, Nola, I'm so sorry, for sleeping with Mike. She said that was like 10 years ago when we was in college, but I'm not that person anymore. She said, and I will never be that person. And I understand why you don't trust me, but just know I'm willing to do the work so that, we can grow our bond strong again and you can begin to trust me again. And I just want to be in your good grace. And she said, I thank you for coming because you didn't have to come back and do this. And Capri was like, Nola, I'm really sorry too, because she was like, I didn't have to get involved with Mike, but I did. And she said, me and you was, having a stronger bond when you was in ATL, and we was, like getting to know each other better. And I just wanted you to know, like, that was all genuine. Like, I really wasn't trying to come down there to see what I can get into with Mike. I really care about you, and you really my friend. And she said, just like Say said, I got to work for your trust again, and that's why I'm here. And I thank you for being here. Mm. Y'all, that's some Cheeto dust that I put on there, that I was gonna put on them. I got some Cheeto dust. I might put some on one of them. But anyways, Nola was like, well, Capri. Now the whole time everybody talking, Dakota ain't saying nothing. She just crying. She doing like she hasn't stopped crying since she saw everybody. And Nola was like, Capri, well, for starters, you can just tell us like who was involved. If you're not the mastermind, who is the mastermind of this whole thing? And Capri was like, listen, I really want to help everybody out because I'm not trying to go to prison, but at the same time, I can't just be around here snitching. I really can't tell y'all who it is. And they was like, so you can't tell us who the mastermind is. So at this point, they're beginning to think like, okay, Capri, you is the mastermind. Cause what you mean? Like, we all about to go to prison and you talking about you can't tell on the person that's the mastermind? And so they was like getting into it with Capri. And as they was getting into it, Dakota just stood up and she was like, it's me. It's me. I'm the one got Capri involved in everything. So everybody was like, what? Dakota, what? So nobody couldn't believe it because, like, Dakota, what you got to do with this? And why you getting Capri involved in some scamming? And she was like, please, y'all, just hear me out. She was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So they was like, explain. You need to explain what's going on. And Capri was just like, thank you. I'm glad I didn't have to do it because that's who Capri was trying to protect because Dakota is the one who really got her involved in all this credit card fraud. Mm. Hit that spot. When I say cool you down, baby, cool me down, baby. So Dakota was like, I'm sorry, y'all. It really is all my fault. And I'm the one that got Capri involved. She was like, listen, I know y'all hate me. She said, but at the end of the day, I was about to lose my salon. So they like, how you about to lose your salon when your salon is one of the most popular salons in Miami? Like, what's going on? You making all this money. How you about to lose your salon? And she was like, I was too embarrassed to tell y'all, but, I'm going broke. And they're like, how? It's not making sense. How are you going broke? And she said, it's Vic. So, y'all, long story short, her boyfriend that she been with for 7 years, Vic, he basically been cheating on her. And he cheat on her with a lot of young females. And, of course, he's the sugar daddy. So, he taking all these young females on extravagant trips, buying them expensive jewelry, clothes, and all this right here. But, see, Dakota didn't know that at first because Dakota thought everything was cool. Dakota thought they was saving money. She thought they was well off because Vic was in charge of the finances. So she making all this money hand over fist and she like, we good. But at the end of the day, they're not because Vic is being a sugar daddy to every young female he meet. So once she found that out, she like, what? She didn't know what to do. And when she confronted Vic about it, Vic was like, listen, I've been trying to get it together. I'm trying to solve it, this and that. So long story short, she told Nola, she was like, Nola, remember when I called you and I had asked you to borrow that money from you that one time? Nola was like, yeah, but it was $100,000. She said, I spoke with Mike and Mike said, we couldn't do it. And she like, girl, if I knew if it was that serious, all you had to do was tell me, like, I would have helped you out. I would have helped you through it. And she said, I didn't ask you again because when you told me no, she said a couple of days later, Mike had came to Miami and that's when he approached me about the scam. So long story short, when Dakota had asked Nola for that money and Mike was like, nah, we can't do it. Mike was for real. They really couldn't do it because around that time, Mike and Nola was going broke too because Mike was strung out. So once Dakota went and asked them for that money, he thought of a bright idea. Okay, she need money. We need money. So this is when Mike thought of this scheme because he know that Dakota have a lot of people coming to her salon. So she deal with a lot of people credit card information. So this is how Mike came up with it. And he approached Dakota a couple of days later and said, this is what we're going to do. If you need this money, this is what we're going to do. So Dakota was like, yeah. So when Mike came to me, I originally thought that you knew about it. And Nola was like, why would you think I knew about that? Like, I would never do that. Like, I would never, that I'm not that type of person. And she was like, Mike told me that this is the solution y'all came up with. So I just went along with it. And she said, by the time I realized that it was too late. And she was like, well, how did you find out that, I didn't have anything to do with it? And she said, because I got tired of doing it. I told Mike that, listen, I don't want to do this no more. She was like, I felt real guilty, I'm like, stealing people credit cards and stuff like that, and these are my loyal customers. She was like, I felt bad. And she was like, well, when I told Mike about it, he was like, no, you ain't finna stop. We gonna keep doing this. And Mike told her that because Mike needed the money. Mike was strung out, so quick as he get the money, he's spending it. So he needed the money. So when Mike told her, no, I'm not gonna stop, that's when Dakota said, you know what, I'm just going to tell Nola. And Nola would respect my wishes. And that's how she found out that Nola didn't know. Because Mike said, Nola ain't got nothing to do with this. And if you tell Nola, she ain't going to deal with you no more because you went behind her back. She was like, Mike, how did I go behind her back when you said this is the solution y'all came up with? He said, I lied. So once Dakota found out that Nola ain't have nothing to do with it, she was mad. And she didn't know what to do. So she said she went to the only person that she knew could help her at the time, Capri. And then Sage was like, well, why you just ain't come to me? She was like, listen, I went to Capri because, no offense, but Capri is a well-known scammer. She said, I couldn't go to Nola because I thought Nola would be mad at me. I didn't go to you because, hello, you a lawyer. I ain't got time to be trying to get locked up. So I went to Capri and I figured she would help me out. So long story short, when Dakota went to Capri, Capri was like, you know what? I'm going to help you out. She said, what we're going to do is we're going to cut Mike out. She said, girl, I'm going to help you save your salon. You just run the card numbers through me. Once you get enough money to get your salon back in good standings, we'll stop and you don't have to deal with Mike no more. She said, but only on one condition. And Dakota was like, what? She said, you got to cut off Vic. You can't deal with Vic no more. She said, Vic got you in this whole situation. You need to leave Vic. And Dakota was like, I don't want to leave him. Like, I'm in love with him. And Capri just told her straight up, listen, that man don't love you. I know you've been with him for 7 years and you waiting on him to propose to you, but it's not going to happen. She said, if you want me to help you, you got to leave Vic. So once she agreed to do it with Capri, she did exactly what Capri told her to do. She broke it off with Vic. She told Vic, listen, you gotta go. You gotta leave my house. I don't want nothing to do with you. It's done. So after that, Capri and Dakota had started doing the scam. Now Vic, he was mad because keep in mind, Vic been living off of Dakota this whole time. So Vic barely had a place to stay. He was staying with family members. He didn't have no money or nothing like that. And then he started staying with one of the young females that he was dating. But y'all already know that didn't last long, because like, how you go from being a sugar daddy, now you living with me and you ain't got no money? So y'all already know that didn't last long. So what Vic did, once he found out that Capri and Sage was still doing this scam, he went and he told Mike. He was like, Mike, you know what? I got some information for you. Because basically he was trying to blackmail Dakota, saying, hey, if you don't want me to tell Mike y'all still doing this, you better, give me some money or do something, because you done left me and they ain't got nothing. And once Dakota didn't go for it, so he went and told Mike, hey, Mike, they still doing that scam behind your back. They done cut you out, this and that, this and that. So that's when Mike calmed down and he like, you know what? Y'all need to pay me. Y'all need to pay me. And at this point, if y'all don't pay me, then I'm finna tell Nola. And basically, he threatened them with the same thing he doing now. He was like, I'm gonna tell Nola what's going on, and at the same time, I'm gonna go to the cops and I'm gonna tell on y'all. He was like, and trust me, they're gonna believe me before they believe y'all, because I'm a well-known ex-football player, professional football player. The Capri, you is a scammer, a well-known scammer, and Dakota, who are you? You are nobody. So basically, he was telling them, y'all need to cut me back in, or I'm gonna tell Nola and I'm gonna snitch on y'all. So then from there, they cut Mike back in, and then all three of them started doing it. And they've been doing it for a while, until that whole incident went down where they had got chased from the store. Mike wrecked the car, they got away and all this. So this is when it slowed down. So they was like, man, they couldn't believe it. Dakota was the one to get Capri involved, because Dakota and Mike had started the whole scam. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now by now, Nola, she just fed up with everything, because she like, I can't believe it. Like, you was sleeping with Mike, you was doing credit card fraud with Mike, then you get Capri involved. She like, I haven't done anything to y'all. I haven't done not one thing. And the whole time, y'all just going behind my back. She was like fed up. And then at that point, she started having second thoughts. Like, I don't even know if I want to do this. Like, do I really want to do this? Because I don't even know y'all. Like, I don't get it. And so Sage was like, you know what, Nola, you got every right to feel the way you feel. And now that everything is on the table, if you don't want to help us, if you just want to walk away, we completely understand. She said, girl, but we just being honest. You said leave everything on the table, so we leaving it on the table. So Nola was sitting there and she was crying. She had tears running down her eyes. And she was like, you know what? Y'all, I love y'all. Y'all been my best friends since elementary. She said, I'm going to help y'all, but only on one condition. She said, no more secrets, no more lies. How can we be best friends, but yet treating each other like enemies, treating each other like we ops? She said, no, we can't be embarrassed to tell each other what's going on in our lives. She said, we got to cut that out, because look around you. Look at this table. We all we got. Now that everything done came out in the open, we all we got. There's nobody else sitting at this table with us. We can't be ashamed of what's going on in our life. We have to be able to talk to each other so we can lift each other up. We can build each other up. She said, so I'm going to help y'all. But make no mistake, if y'all ever cross me again, I'm done. I'm done. She said, I'm doing it. She said, Sage, I'm doing it because not for nothing, your daughter is my kid's sister. Capri, I'm doing it because you got my godsons. And Dakota, you already know, we been friends since forever, girl. She said, but if y'all cross me again, I'm done with y'all. We need to get through this, but let this be a lesson learned. So they ordered some more shots. They did their 4 for 4 and they toasted up. So Sage was like, okay, ladies, I got the perfect plan. She said, now, from a lawyer standpoint, knowing everything that I know now, the only way that we're going to get Mike is we have to get Mike recorded. We got to get him on recording. Because, see, y'all, one thing for certain, two things for sure, Mike ain't dumb. Because everything that he was doing, he never did it himself. He always had either Dakota or Capri do it. He always had somebody do it. So Sage was like, we need to get him on recording, like admitting that he's the mastermind. That's the only way we gonna get out of this. So they was like, okay, well, we got to come up with a plan, because how we gonna do that? So then Dakota was like, I got a perfect plan. Because keep in mind, y'all, Mike and Vic is nothing but some narcissistic men. And that's what Dakota said. Dakota said, I've been dealing with a narcissist for 7 years. If it's one thing I know how to do, is that's push a narcissist button. And she said one thing about it, when you push a narcissist button, they just gonna go to talking. They gonna go to talking, they gonna go to selling out, and they don't care what they say. And a lot of the things that they say is gonna be true, because why? They're stroking their ego. And that's what narcissists do. So she said the plan is, Nola, you need to go back to Atlanta. You need to go back to Atlanta and, just pretend like you don't know what's going on. And then Capri was like, wait, so Mike don't know that you know? She said, no, I didn't tell Mike nothing. I just left. She said, I packed up my kids, I left. And then she was like, but that's the thing. I'll go back to Atlanta, but I don't want to take my kids back. I don't want my kids to know what's going on. Like at this point, Nola is scared, and she don't want her kids to be nowhere involved. So Sage was like, girl, if you need me to, me and Marco will watch your kids if your mama don't want to watch them. So now the plan is, Nola is finna go back to Atlanta. And when Nola go back to Atlanta, she's just gonna basically act like she don't want to be there. She's gonna be complaining about money and, just basically how she don't want to be there. And at the same time that she's there complaining, she's gonna be best friends with Dakota. And see, that's one of the things that nobody could understand. Because once Dakota told them the plan, they was like, you know what, that's true. Why Mike never mention you? Why Mike never mentioned your name? And Dakota started crying again. She said, because I'm still giving him credit card numbers. They said, what? With everything that's going on? She said, girl, I couldn't help it. So apparently when Mike got out of jail, he reached out to Dakota and he let her know, listen, I didn't say your name, but if you don't cooperate, then I am going to say your name. Because see, Mike knew that he was going to need some money, because he kicked out of NFL. There's no other way for him to get money. So he told Dakota he still need them credit card numbers, or if she don't do it, he's going to tell the police, hey, this is where I'm getting these numbers from, this and that. So Dakota been giving Mike credit card numbers still ever since this whole thing been going on. So they like, what? So now at this point, everybody at the table mad at Dakota. And Nola was like, hold on, y'all can't be, just going in on Dakota like that, because at the end of the day, all y'all is betraying everybody. She said, if anybody should be mad, it should be me. I'm the only one sitting at this table who haven't done wrong by anybody. So y'all can't be pointing the fingers. So they was like, okay, true. And then Nola was like, that's perfect, because Dakota, you need to get Mike on record and giving him some of them credit card numbers. So that's the plan. Nola gonna go back and she gonna try to push Mike buttons to where basically he confess, get it on tape. And then Dakota, she's gonna try to record, like this whole exchange of giving Mike these credit card numbers. So they all say the plan, they leave, they go their separate ways. Hit that spot. Now once they all separated, Mike kept calling Nola phone back to back. Mike been calling Nola back to back since she left, because keep in mind, Mike still don't know that she know what's going on, and she didn't tell him anything. See, Mike is thinking that Nola left because he stayed out all night, and basically he been cheating on her, just like he been doing the whole relationship. So Mike, being the narcissist that he is, he been blowing her up. So finally that night, Nola answered his call, and Nola pretty much started playing her role. She like, Mike, I can't believe you cheated on me. Like, why would you think I would go for that? Why would you think I would stay with a man that cheated on me, this and that? And Mike believing it. Mike really think that's why she left. But Mike is curious to know, now that she back in Miami, do she know what's going on? So he questioned her about it. He was like, did your friends convince you to leave me? Like, I would never cheat on you. I just, I had a relapse and things, this and that. I was just relapsing and all this. And Nola was like, no, I haven't talked to them since I've been here. She was like, I haven't talked to them because it's embarrassing. Why would I talk to them? Like, I left you one time because we ended up homeless. I go back to you and then things ain't what they seem to be, and now I come back. Why would I talk to them? She was like, it's embarrassing. So Mike go for it. So basically, he being the narcissist that he is, he trying to convince Nola to come back, and he trying to convince her because what he doing, what narcissists do, he's trying to blame Nola for the reason why he's strung out and doing all these activities. He was like, you was working so many jobs and you weren't paying me no attention, and I just want my old wife back, I want my family back, doing what a narcissist does. So Nola played the role, and she was like, you know what, Mike, I'll come back, but it's gonna be a test run. She said, I'm not bringing my kids back with me, so just know I'll come, but I gotta see how things gonna be. And if things work out to be good, then I'll bring the kids with me. If not, I'm gone and we done for good. So Mike was happy. He was like, okay, cool. I'll have you a ticket, by tomorrow morning. So once Nola got off the phone, she called them and she was like, listen, everything in motion. I'm on my way to Atlanta on tomorrow morning. Cool. Now, so the next day, Nola get on the plane. Now, Mike ain't dumb. Like I said, Mike ain't dumb. Mike still was suspicious. So what Mike did was he got in touch with Vic. Vic is Dakota ex-boyfriend. He told Vic straight up, he was like, listen, I don't want to deal with Dakota one-on-one, but you can make some money if basically you deal with her. So basically he want Vic to be the middleman between him and Dakota. And he's telling Vic, I'm going to pay you a certain amount of money, and Vic going for it because Vic broke. He don't got no money. He's still staying with his family members. So he's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Just tell me what you need me to do and I'll do it. So once Nola get there, soon as she touched down the ATL, she started playing her role. Mike was like, let's go to a wing spot. And she like, I don't want no wings. Like, why you taking me there out of all places? Like, what, you ain't got no money? Are you broke? What's going on? And she was like, I should have stayed in Miami with my family, because if I'm going to be struggling while I'm here, I don't want to be here. I'd rather be struggling at my parents' house, because at least, I have some stability for me and my kids, this and that. So Mike get irritated by the moment. So she just doing everything she can do to basically, let Mike do his thing. Like, you need to go try to get these credit cards so Dakota can record you. So the whole time she just playing the role. Mike started getting irritated. A few more days go by, and finally she get Mike to break down, because Mike, she been getting on Mike's nerves, seeing how she don't want to be broken all this right here. So finally one day she on the phone with Dakota. So he like, who you on the phone with? She's like, I'm with Dakota. He was like, what? So basically, he get Nola to hang up the phone. And when Nola hang up the phone, he was like, what you doing talking to her? I thought you said you don't talk to them. She was like, I know, but she just worried about me. They haven't heard from me in a while. Not to mention, they found out that I was in Miami for a little bit. And Mike, our kids is still there with my mama them. So they saw the kids in Miami with my mama at the store. So they just checking on me. And she was like, oh yeah, and they trying to plan some type of girls trip. They want me to go out of town with them. It's a girls trip that we finna go out of time for. So Mike was like, you ain't going on no girls trip, because how you gonna go on that trip? You ain't got no money and I ain't finna pay for that. You need to just leave them alone. She was like, Mike, I ain't gotta pay for that. They're my friends. They gonna pay for me. They know I'm having a hard time. And he was like, them ain't your friends. And she was like, Mike, you know what? Just stop it, Mike. They my friends. And so Mike getting mad about a moment. So she was like, you can't tell me who to hang out with. And she was like, Mike was like, them ain't your friends. If them was your friends, why you so broke? Why you here with me? Why you need me to take care of you? She was like, you know what, Mike? To be honest, they have done more for me in these last 2 years than you have ever done for me since we've been together. Now, if anybody know anything about a narcissistic person, the one thing that's going to set them off is if you don't acknowledge some of the little things that they do for you. And please understand, it's going to be little things, because a narcissistic person is never going to do something major for you. It's never going to be major for you, because they so caught up in their own self. Like, they want to stroke their own ego. So a narcissistic person is only going to do small, tiny things for you. And when they do it, don't acknowledge it. That's going to set them off. And basically, that's what Nola did. Once she told Mike that they have done more for her than he have done the whole time they've been together, Mike snapped. He went off. He was like, what? He was like, first of all, let me tell you something. Them ain't your friends. He said, all of them work for me. Yes, all of them work for me. Nola, and then so that's when Mike pretty much told her the whole thing, what he been doing. He said, look at Capri. She was working for me. Capri ain't the mastermind. I put that together. I did that. I put that all together. This is all my plan. So don't tell me. And she was like, and your friend Sage? Yeah, Sage. Yeah, she my baby mama. Her daughter, that's my child. Them are not your friends. None of y'all is nothing without me. So don't get it twisted. Them are not your friends. Now, Nola crying because she really hurt. But at the same time, she's smiling on the inside. Because, baby, you have no idea that you have fully been recorded. So once Nola saw that Mike was like flipping out, going crazy, oh, she kept going. She was like, Mike, stop lying, Mike. You ain't got to lie. Like, you ain't got to lie on my friends to try to make yourself look good. Like, straight up. My friends are my friends. They have been there for me since day one. They care about me more than you. They do for me more than you. He was like, oh, you don't believe me? She was like, no, I don't believe you, Mike. You a liar. All you do is lie. Stop lying, Mike. So what Mike did, he did what any narcissistic person would do. He picked up the phone to try to call people to what? Agree with him. To go along with what he doing. Typical narcissist move. So what he do, he pick up the phone and he called Dakota directly. And he's mad. He's like, Dakota, I need 10 credit card numbers right away. And I better have them in a few hours. And Dakota was like, calm down, Mike, what's going on? He was like, nah, you work for me, correct? She was like, yeah, Mike, what did you talking about? He was like, you do what I say, correct? She was like, yeah, Mike. So the whole time he questioning her, he got the phone on speakerphone so Nola can hear it. And he like, because he trying to prove a point to Nola, not knowing, buddy, you are being recorded, okay? So he was like, who thought of this? Who idea is this? Who is the boss? Who do you answer to? Who the Capri answer to? Who operation is this? I run this. And Dakota, she couldn't believe it. She was like, yeah, Mike. It's all you. Like, what you want from me, Mike? I'm doing everything you want me to do. Everybody was playing their role. Everybody was playing their role. So he hung up the phone. And Nola, she still crying on the outside. But on the inside, she like, baby, you were what? You have no idea. So once he hung up, Nola kept playing her role. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And he was like, yeah, don't cry now. Don't cry now. I'm the one who made you. I made all of y'all. Y'all wouldn't be nothing without me. I run this. If I didn't take care of you and your friends, y'all would be somewhere in the gutter somewhere. So you better praise me. So Nola just playing her role. She was like, Mike, you so right. I'm so sorry. I should have never, questioned you. She landed on him thick. So basically, he feeling himself, he stroking his ego, and he was like, I'll be back. And matter of fact, have me some dinner done when I come back. That's the least you can do. You got a good man standing right in front of you, and you don't know what to do with him. No, playing her role. Soon as Mike left out that door, she picked up her phone, she called Sage, she said, got him. Say, don't worry about it, girl. I got you a ticket. You will leave in the morning. I just got off the phone with Dakota. What? Next, so in a couple hours had went by and Mike came back. Nola started playing her role. Now Mike was feeling some type of way, but he was feeling himself so much. That's what narcissists do. Once they think they have belittled you to the point to where you can't think without them, then they let their guard down. So that's what Mike did. He felt so good that he had made Dakota cry. He felt so good that he ruined Capri life. He felt so good that he had Sage caught up. He felt even better once Nola found out that he was running the show. And he had Nola there crying. He felt so good. So even though he was kind of feeling strange, he did what a narcissistic man would do. A narcissistic person in general. They went home and act like it was all good. Like, yeah, praise me. I'm your king. So when he went to sleep, Nola didn't even wait for the next morning. It was around 4 o'clock in the morning. Nola got in the lift and she went to the airport. Her plane left that morning at 8 o'clock. She sat there for 3 hours. She was crying. She was writing in her journal, but she was so happy it was over. When that plane boarded at 7:30 that next day, Nola was on that plane. And she was looking out that window when she was leaving Atlanta on her way back to Miami. And she was thanking God it was over because she knew then she was really done with Mike. And the only thing she was thinking about was like, okay, I got kids with him. I'm going to have to co-parent with him. But it's a wrap. It's a wrap for Mike. So once she touched down, they all met up again. And Sage was like, okay, y'all. So basically, we need to take this to the prosecutor office. Like, we got to take this to them and see what they're going to do with it. Because at the end of the day, it's up to them what's going to happen. So a couple days go by. They finally make it to the prosecutor office. They get them all the evidence that they got against Mike. And the prosecutor told them straight up. They was like, listen, I'm going to tell y'all like this. He said, Sage, nothing might not happen to you because you really ain't doing anything. You just pretty much, you pretty much wasn't that smart. I don't know why you gave this man $25,000 for a child that's his, yeah, but you ain't do nothing. He said, but Dakota and Capri, he said, I could probably get y'all probation or something. And that's what happened. So the next a few days went by, and they had called Mike. They was like, listen, Mike, we need you to come to Miami. We need you to make a statement, and they landed on Mike Thick like, hey, yeah, we just found some more evidence against them, this and that. Mike not knowing what's going on. Keep in mind, he have been blowing Nola up since Nola left. But Nola been playing the role with him. Like, no, Mike, I left because, I still think you cheating on me. She started playing that you cheating on me role. So in order to get Mike to come back, Mike was like, hey, I got to go handle some business down there anyways. And she was like, okay, well, I'll see you when you get here. Mike got off that plane, and it was two detectives that were waiting to arrest Mike. Mike got out to that station. He tried to pull his same scheme that he do. Hey, it's not me. I'm not the mastermind. They telling me what to do. They got me caught up. And as they were sitting across the table, they just pressed play. And they played everything that Mike had said. And that's when Mike knew it was over for him, because they had the recording that he was talking to Nola, and they had the recording where he told Dakota to get them credit card numbers, and Mike knew it. He was done. A couple days go by. The 4 for 4 ladies, they met up at their favorite brunch spot. They hugged each other, and they said, listen, we all we got. No more secrets, no more lies. And Dakota was like, you know what, you're right. She said, for the longest time, we thought we was best friends, but really we was enemies because we were going against each other. She said, all the things that we put each other through, like, nobody but enemies do that. She said, if it's one thing I have learned, no matter what I go through, I know you ladies is going to stick by my side. And they all agreed. They gave each other a hug. And that was it. The 4 for 4 was back together again. As for Mike got sentenced to 45 years in prison. To this day, Nola and Sage kids are growing up as sister and brother. Mike is in jail. Study blowing up Nola phone, saying, why you talking to them ladies? Because they don't like you. They're not your friends. More of the story, y'all. If you really call somebody your friend, you got to be able to talk to them. You got to be able to have uncomfortable conversations with them. You can't be embarrassed to share information with your friends. If you are embarrassed to share information with someone, or embarrassed to be fully honest with someone, then apparently that's not your friend. And I'm not here to say who's not being a friend, but I'm going to say you should be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations with your friend. If you're going behind your friend back, you're an enemy. Long story short. As always, it's been fun. Bid back and bid back and bid back and hey, bid back and 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 hey, bid back and bid back and okay.